got tired of my own voice. And quit making videos trying to help other people. Like I don't need help myself. And I think about making videos all the time, and like I'll turn this shitting thing on and I'll start saying stuff, and then I'm like, oh my God, I can't even stand myself. But I did want to share this. You know, if you're on social media all the time, especially if you're like me and your algorithm skews very, very liberal, you realize there's a lot of people out there saying that people of color don't get the same health care that other people get, and they don't get the same treatment that other people get. But just speaking on the health care part of it, and I'm no expert, I'm just telling you what's been running through my head. If you ever find yourself believing something about somebody that's different than you, like I have a lot of beliefs about straight white men and how they treat people. And I know from experience so many good white men that would never treat anybody bad. But still, my mind goes there all the time. All the time. I mean, and it's just based off of my own experience. Even though I've had good experiences, I base it all off the bad experiences. But just say that you hold some sort of bias against whether the person's a different color, or whether the person acts different, believes different, whatever. You hold some sort of bias. Do you think there's a possibility that if you were working in a hospital or a clinic or something like that, and people waiting on services, there were like people that were in dire need, and there were some people that maybe, needed a Band-Aid. And let's just say the person that looks the most and seems the most like you was the one that needed a Band-Aid. And people that seem different than you, or that you held some sort of bias against because you had seen things about them, like if they were brown, maybe you saw in a movie that person that looked like that was a terrorist in a movie. Or somebody that was black, you saw them in a movie and you don't know anybody black, you don't know anybody brown, and you just always saw them as drug dealers, or being arrested on your police shows. And that's all you know. Despite, I'm going to jump off course here, despite that we had a black president, there's black lawyers, there's black doctors, and about every other truck I pass when I'm on the interstate has a black truck driver in it. Despite all the evidence out there that people of color are just like you, that they're not terrorists, they're not drug dealers, they take care of their families, they love their families, just like you. Despite all the evidence, you only know what you saw on TV, on the news, or something like that. So you hold some sort of bias against people, that particular set of people that are not like you. But they come in and they've got, they're on the verge of a heart attack. They're on the verge of a heart attack, and the room is just filled up with people. A lot of them just need Band-Aids. And this was the last person that came in. You just packed. Tell me if that's the person that you would see first, or would you go directly to that Band-Aid needer that looks and acts just like you? That right there, and you may not want to admit that, but if you hold any sort of bias like that, is the very reason that not everybody gets the same medical treatment. And I'm not being judgmental against people. I'm just saying that sometimes we let things like that get in the way of what we're doing. Just ask yourself if you hold any sort of bias like that. You might want to think that you would take care of that person with a heart attack, but I'm just telling you, you might. But every day, people of color go into medical situations where they need the most care and don't get it because somebody holds some sort of bias. They don't mean to. They don't even know they're doing it. Honestly, I don't believe they know that they're doing it. It's not, I don't think it's on a conscious level. They just seek to help the people that that they know, which are the people that are like them. So that it's almost like they're seeking to heal and help their own self by sending their attention to people that are like them. So I'm just saying, pay attention and think about it, that if people are saying things like that they don't get the same care, the same treatment, remember that they might not. That could be a thing. So that's all I'm saying. And I am going to post this frigger for once.